My name is Jeff Dimitriou. I am a choreographer, director, creator, and artist. I love to explore new ways of expression, and most of them come from my own personal stories, but there's also developments and projects that I work on that tell a wide range of different kind of stories about different people. Okay, I want to push the musical theater in this sort of direction for the show because it just creates a palette. When we escape to the disassociated worlds, we can create anything. You know, it can become really cool. Right now we're in the process of developing a show called The Warrior, very close to my heart, but really stems from my want and desire as a dancer. When I used to dance professionally in theater, I mean, I turned professional at 16 and I went to the Charlottetown Festival, and that was my first foray into musical theater, and it hooked me. But I did find that as dancing being my first, I guess, strongest skill set, I found it difficult to really express myself as a dancer. So I wanted to find new ways of exploring theater with dance and using dance as the primary storytelling tool. Also incorporating music and song and dialogue, you know, great script writing and, you know, visuals and a whole bunch of different sort of media aspects to it. But at the heart of it, I want to create opportunities for dancers to also be leads and also to allow themselves to express themselves fully. The dance that you see in the beginning sequence is a way for me to express the passing of time. And it's a way to show, because during a party, I mean, parties don't happen in 10 minutes or 2 minutes or 5 minutes. They go on for hours, usually, you know, unless they're terrible. I want to see what it's like if everybody stands up. Everybody stands up. You as well. I just want to create a walk, a circle around, okay? So let's go this way since you're there. Come out this way, Zach. Okay, everybody just follow the circle, okay? Now.
It's been really exciting.
It's also really cool doing a non-traditional piece of theater because we go in the room and we don't know what to expect, and therefore we don't put ourselves in boxes or create limitations for the character, for ourselves, or for the process or the work we're doing. So I think that's really exciting because we really can create anything in that room because it's not a cookie cutter show.
A lot with like alienation and separation of elements, like with even in the acting, separation of movement and text, which is makes me think of Brecht and thinks about how much he pushed apart musical theater and tried new things, and how can we pull things apart that we think have to go together, which is new and exciting.
Or push things together that normally we wouldn't put together.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of the table scene and how dance, it's not just a time for a dance number. The dance movement number is in the middle of the scene, which is really interesting.
And even just the language of the show, like again, like molding all these different styles together and it being very disjointed and being intently so, I think is really interesting. Like I think about our lines, like one of my lines is literally politics.
How nice.
Enjoying town.
Quite.
Politics.
Oh, disagree.
Unconscionable.
Preposterous.
Contradictory.
Boring.
Stop, Juliet. Stand up first.
Like it's not that we're delving into literal politics, it's just like you can allow the audience to figure, like get the flow of conversation by just doing like quick words, and then from there you use dance and all of these other elements to tell the story. And like that time elapse scene, like working on that scene yesterday was so cool to be like, it's just time elapsing and we're gonna pretend like we're at a dinner table and you know, what's like a regular dining party like, and that was kind of cool to work on.
It's an exploration of allowing insight into one person's journey, it being mine. So the party scene is a symbolic sequence of events that happen to show of how easy someone can come into an environment and take advantage of a child and take advantage of their situation right in front of the people that are supposed to be protecting them.
What are you playing with? Oh, that's interesting. You like playing with dolls, do you? It's all right. Show me how they like to play.
When I'm working with these artists, it's so incredible. They're so hungry for collaboration and a collaborative energy, and they're just sort of like feeding off of it. And I have to tell you, it's just my dream to have artists like that in the room. So whatever you guys are doing at Sheridan College, it's so amazing, because they are really opening up the door for the leaders, the creative leaders, to step into a safe creative zone, right? So the creatives also need to be in a safe zone as well, not just the artists that we're working with.
They'll punish you should you say a word.
Now, is it too much?
Well, do we speak in verse at any other point?
Like to me it goes in like Seussical.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
bit.
Yeah. I remember on the second day of rehearsals, I had a student that walked in the room, and it was just me and my videographer. I just noticed a change in her. Something was happening with her. She came in with a friend, and I'm not gonna talk about names, but I had an opportunity to connect with this young artist, and I went over to the artist and we discussed, and she was having a difficult time. And we just discussed a little bit about what was happening, and she had expressed to me how affecting this was to her, because it triggered things in her. And real art, to me, makes you feel things. Real art changes you, can change other people. So that one moment for me was almost worth the whole workshop, because she understood that there was another vulnerable person willing to be vulnerable, but understanding that vulnerability is strength as opposed to a weakness. To be vulnerable takes a lot of courage and is very powerful. So to see her also playing with that energy now, or at least that the experience helping her to open up a little bit, was powerful.
Lights slowly come up and lights up.
Greetings!
Thank you for coming. Pleasure.
Lovely.
Please, do sit down.
Hello.
Salutations.
Adorable.
Please, sit down.
Yes, please sit down.
Mother.
Yes, dear.
Who is this?
Hello,
A friend.
and who is this?
Oh, please, come sit down. Appetizers?
How nice.
Enjoying town.
Quite. Politics?
Oh, disagree.
Unconscionable. Preposterous.
Contradictory.
Boring.
Adorable.
Gossip. Really.
Politics?
Politics.
The weather. Splendid. Splendid. But first,
A toast.
and.
Hello?
What are you doing?
We're just playing. Do you like candy?
Yeah.
Louder.
For you? Go play.
Okay. Yes. Yes. My brother? No, he's fine. May I go play? Yes, please.
And go. Go.
Mother,
Yes, Father.
how was your day?
It was fine. How was yours?
It was fine. Daughter, boy, now did you behave for Mother today?
Yes, Father.
Now your mother and I are going out. Come and say hello. Come on.
Hello.
Hello.
May I go to my room now?
You may. Boy, you behave.
Boy, what are you playing with? Well, that's interesting. You like to play with dolls, do you? It's all right. Show me how they like to play. Show me.
This boy, the warrior, what he does is he escapes to magical worlds, because what happens when there's trauma that happens, especially at any age, there's post-traumatic stress disorder, but at such a young age, when there's such severe trauma, the tendency for a survival instinct in a human being is to go into a disassociated space. So you'll hear a lot of victims victims/survivors/warriors who go into a different world. Either they focus on something in the room, or they disappear into another place. And that's what I did. I used to create magical worlds to disappear into. However, the shadows are representative and symbolic of the anger, the guilt, the shame, and the fear that comes into one's life after trauma has entered it. So I use the dancers in this first part to represent the shadows, that energy that encompasses a human being and stays with them until they actually do the work to heal it.
I think he's done a really great job at creating a safe space where we handle this kind of story with a lot of care, and that we're helping to flesh it out in a way that makes it more universal. as opposed to just very detailed and specific, which I think would attract audiences more, but at the same time staying true to the experience and the emotions that are rooted in the story.
Yeah, I feel very honored that he brought this to Sheridan because it's so brave to bring it to a musical theater school as opposed to somewhere that's dance-based, because it is such a dance-based piece. But just telling your own story as an artist is incredibly fearless, and I feel that that's a lot of what we focus on here at Sheridan.
From here, okay? Who went first? You, right? Jess? Okay. So I just want you to go. All right? So you'd go first. Victims and survivors, warriors, often disappear when trauma is happening to them, especially when it happens consistently. For me, I disappeared into magical worlds. At least I call them magical worlds, you know? So the shadows are the first bit of a altered world that the boy is now in. He's not in his reality anymore because the reality has been taken away from him by trauma.
I picture is like now he's like you guys have taken over him, so you're walking towards me, and then you kind of, maybe you two, I don't know, like grab him and kind of drag him back. Does that make sense? So I'd be going like.
I love the whole words that we use, like the shame, fear, guilt, and how that really builds and speeds up and then moves into the big unison section. I think the reason like that is because we're bringing in words to the dance that I think they show up in scenes as well, and it's kind of like a build, and that the unison section in like musical theater terminology would be like the song that the character breaks out into, because the words can no longer do the character's emotions justice. I feel like that's such a great build in intensity, and then the unison section is so satisfying.
So there's like we really played with the idea of what shame would look like, what fear would look like, what anger would look like, and what guilt would look like. And my goal in all the art that I am part of and that I create is to create an energy in the audience, for the spectator, for the audience, for who's ever watching it, the moviegoer, the TV audience, that they feel the intention behind what I'm trying to express, you know. So it's usually very atmospheric. So it was very important to use keywords like that while developing the choreography and the movement.
Anger, 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 fear, fear, keep on going. Fear, fear,
Keep going.
shame, 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 shame.
Keep going.
Guilt,
More.
guilt,
More.
guilt,
Yeah.
guilt.
Okay, now let's try the other way. 5, 6, 7, 8.
For me, working with the motif of the blades in our hands has been very interesting because as my personal, I can't think of a word. My personal artistry is to use my hands a lot when I'm dancing and to release a lot of tension through there. But keeping our hands very tense starting at our hands and brings it all into our stomachs, the pit of our stomachs, of the tension and the hunger that these shadows are supposed to have for the boy. And I think that this motif is very smart and brought a whole new energy to the dance as a whole, which they continued it throughout the entire thing, which I think is so cool.
There's not one person on this entire planet that doesn't feel fear and anger and shame and guilt for some reason, whether it being to the way they look in the mirror, whether someone said something to them, the way that their parents act around them, there's so many reasons why, but this is a commonality. So The shadow figures are omnipresent, I believe, in all of our lives until we start to do the healing work that is necessary to get rid of them. So the idea I have for the shadow dancers are these incredible masks. They come up like here, and they almost look like these omni monsters.
And music.
I think it's very necessary to, it's a necessary step in continuing the evolution of musical theater as an art form, because if we look at traditional musical theater, there's so much now that we see wrong with it, like gender stereotypes, and that's a huge one that we've been talking about lately. And I think it's great to see how changing the technical aspects of the art form can also change the, for like us as performers, the dramatic aspects of it and how we can put ourselves into it more. It's a lot more, persons has a lot more to do with humans as opposed to archetypes. And I think that's a really great step forward.
Lights off. Cue music. Go. Lower the volume. Enter. Music.
but I love to play with makeup.
Well, it's not appropriate. Take that sweater off. From now on, you're not allowed to play in your sister's room. You are a boy. Act like a boy.
I think the coolest thing about working with Jeff is that he's able, I've watched him pull out more passion and emotion from every artist he works with. He takes everything to the next level, and it's really inspiring to watch. I think he inspires everyone he works with, and they want to do good for him. Like they're just there to sort of bring his story to life.
Mm-hmm. Like they're there for themselves, but they're also there for Jeff as well, for his kind of storytelling.
So what was so interesting for me as a healing tool in this process and with the warrior is that I get to change a little bit of the dialogue or the energy around my life as a way of almost healing part of it, you know? So in writing the song for the mother, because the boy leaves the scene and the mother is left contemplating what she just did, because she does feel fear. She feels fear for herself and the family and what people are going to say, but fear because of her own demons and her own trauma that she was not able to heal herself. So what was powerful for me was that I was able to change the energy around the mother figure.
We'll hold through time, my feelings like the stars align. Life may be harsh.
I was able to make her understand his side of things more clearly, or at least feel them a little bit softer than what actually happened in my life and a lot of people's lives actually, as in coming out as gay or anything that's different than the usual. You know, so it was really beautiful for me to be able to do a sit down in front of with my laptop and write these lyrics and alter them and switch them and change them around and create something that actually healed a piece of the puzzle that was missing between me and my mother. So it was actually really, really, really powerful.
Often scared of what will be once you find yourself, but I truly know that you are full of love. Mother's love will never die, I promise you I'll always try. Mother's love will hold through time, my feelings like the stars align. Life may be harsh, life may be cruel, but it can also be kind. My
This is a really exciting production to be a part of for me because it's really bringing like the contemporary world of acting, but also of dance together with musical theater, which is actually something I've been really interested in doing because I really love contemporary dance, and I've been in my brain I've been thinking of like, well, how can you like bring contemporary dance and the stuff that we love to do with music theater, which is also what we love to do, because I think there's a lot of like show dancing, but I'm just interested in like how far you can push the craft really, and Jeff is really, I think he's kind of starting to pioneer that, which is really exciting, and I'm just really excited to be able to be a part of his creation process because it's really inspiring to get to watch him work, and it's really informing my own understanding of the creative process and how I may want to work and do similar things in the future. So he's really inspiring in that sense.
Well, this is more like a creative outlet, right? So other projects that we're on are really already done. Like,
yeah, this is very personal to Jeff, and I think that it's really his journey, and so for that reason, I mean, it's been an emotional process, I think, and I think everyone feels, because we know Jeff personally, everyone's really attached to what we've been working on emotionally.
but like other projects that we worked on, like we've done theater, we've done, you know, the whole commercial side of things, and TV, film and TV, and so this is completely different, I feel, right?
My Heart is Breaking is a song that I wrote based on a lost love, my first love actually. So it's representative of, in the musical, it will be the symbolic energy of love in general, and the loss of love, and the breakup of love, and the lover that you are so in love with that ends up cheating on you, you know, and leaves you, and you find out about all of this, of course, and because the truth always comes out. So it was a way for me to express that pain. So that's why I wrote My Heart is Breaking.
My heart is aching for you, my heart is breaking for you, my heart is waiting for you, for you. My heart is aching for you, my heart is breaking for you, my heart is waiting for you, for you.
I miss you when I wake up alone, and all I see is me, all I see is me. The mirror doesn't lie to you, please tell me where you'll be, tell me where you'll be. I miss you when I look around, you're nowhere to be found, nowhere to be found. Faces staring straight ahead, I'm sick of feeling lasting dread. I miss you when the sun sets, the dreary night falls dark, waiting by the fountain, clutching pennies to my heart.
My heart is aching for you, my heart is breaking for you, my heart is waiting for you, for you. My heart is aching for you, my heart is breaking for you, my heart is waiting for you, for you.
I miss you when the sun sets, the dreary night falls dark, waiting by the fountain, clutching pennies to my heart. I miss you when the sun sets, the dreary night falls dark, waiting by the fountain, clutching pennies to my heart. My heart is aching for you, my heart is breaking for you, my heart is waiting for you. My heart is aching, my heart is breaking for you. My heart, my heart, my heart for you. My heart is aching for you, my heart is breaking for you, my heart is waiting for you, for you.
Well, Sheridan as an institution is all about pushing creative boundaries, and it's all about getting creative and making, just pushing boundaries. And I think that this is what this show is doing. It's creating a path for a new form of storytelling and a new form of theater. And so I think it's only fitting that Sheridan is the institution to produce it, because that's what we're here to do, is to push boundaries and to grow as artists and to be our own unique individuals. And this show is about building ourselves as an individual and using such a unique way to tell that story. Is just, it screams Sheridan.
I truly believe that Sheridan is an incredible facility and an incredible environment for artists to grow and to be developed. And now that I feel so much inspiration that's coming from Sheridan College in the Canadian Musical Theatre projects, and the way that Sheridan is really starting to develop new Canadian theatre and support their creative artists who are leaders in the industry. It really excites me. It gets my inspiration going so incredibly. Tingly is the word, I guess. I just have so many ideas. And so when I was looking for a place to explore the warrior, immediately Jillian Saunders popped in my head, in Sheridan College, and Mark Richard and Mike Rubinoff and all the incredible other people that make Sheridan happen. So I don't know what else to say other than to say thank you, because it's been an incredible experience, and I really truly hope that there's more opportunity to develop the warrior and to develop it fully, because there is something there that needs to be told and people need to hear and feel it.
Why stay to the norm? Why do what we're used to doing? Why are we not changing as theater people and in the industry, really? So why not, give a little bit of a twist? Like, you go to Broadway now and you're not seeing the same Broadway shows that we've seen 20 years ago,
No.
30 years ago. Everything's evolving, and you have to keep on going with it and keep on climbing the ladder with everyone else, you know what I mean? So all this creativity, all this new wave of it's fantastic. It's what theater needs. It's never going to stop either. Like, I think, this is just one idea. Like, there's so many more ideas to bring forward.
We need to keep exploring, for
keep
sure.
exploring and always sharing and always accepting.
And as artists, that's what we want to do too. That's how we feel fulfilled, I think. So
we are seeing a change happening.
Yeah.
And so, as well as the change of form, I do believe that this is going to be a new opening for a new kind of theater, which I think is really time, because we're at a point, we are becoming more socially aware of a lot of things and learning about a lot of the material that we have currently for musical theater, and a lot of the basis of musical theater just isn't appropriate for today's society. And so I think bringing in this new, like, opening up the form, bringing something new into the theater in a brink of a change to begin with, I think it's going to be it's going to take off as something. And moving, as Haley was saying, using dance as the main component of the storytelling, I think that also opens up the spectrum to so much more, because we aren't stuck to the words, we aren't stuck to the typical archetypes, and we aren't stuck to these stories that are being retold over and over and over again, and opening it up to something new. And I think that's going to be really effective.
Yeah.
And furthermore, actually, just the content of the show, like Oliver was saying with the warrior and stuff, Jeff really, boy does not hold back.
He's going for it.
He's there, and it's real, and it's raw, and it's 100% there. There's no covering it up. Like, it's just there, And so there's no way, I don't think this message will not be received. And in 2018, I think it's time that this message is received.
Yeah, I think so too.
I have so much to say to the artists that were helping me develop the warrior and who gave their time so givingly. There's so much gratitude I have for you all, and your passion and your integrity as artists, and the talent level and your willingness to go there with me and to go along on the ride and to understand that this could be something really special. It means no, it didn't meant. It means the world to me. Sincerely, thank you. And to my team, George and Shelley and Steph and Jillian, and Juliet, I am so incredibly grateful for all of you, for believing in me and believing in the vision that the warrior wants to take. And thank you, Sheridan College. Thank you.
The first word that comes to mind is wholesome for me.
Brave. Inspiring.
I feel sore.
Sore and empowered.
Abundance.
Courageous.
It's oddly similar to brave.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 5.
Inspiring.
Awesome.
The last 3 days have been absolutely life-changing for me. Crazy, incredible, inspirational, passionate, and intense. Kind of mad. Like, it was madness, man. It was crazy, artistic madness. And I love it. It was awesome.
And
Worked so hard all my life, it's finally good. I'm alright, never thought it would happen till it walked through the door. I never knew time and again